I just want to encourage you to think for a moment of all the adverts that you've watched. They usually have beautiful, conventionally attractive people, and they're usually living their best life. Maybe it's for a face cream. The woman's putting it on, smiling, and she's outside her beautiful big house, and her family's in there all smiling, having dinner together. And we really get this depiction not only of beauty, but of happiness. And it's very easy to link the two together. To be beautiful means to be happy. That's what adverts tell us, because that's the best way to sell a product. Good-looking individuals are the poster people for happiness. Patriarchal capitalism does try to sell beauty to us through saying that that's going to make us feel happy, and that it's going to make us get into a relationship and have the beautiful big house and the happily ever after. The media really does sell us this dream. And by doing that, it kind of makes us think that the answer to all our problems is in improving our appearance and becoming beautiful. When we become beautiful, then everything is perfect and fixed. So of course, we then have these projections, you can't be insecure, you're beautiful, your life must be perfect. Of course, we project that onto attractive people, because the adverts tell us to be beautiful is to be happy, is to have the perfect partner, it's to have the perfect life. Hello beautiful people, I'm Alessia. So today I'm going to be talking about some of the more painful sides to being a beautiful person, a stereotypically attractive woman. I realise that being beautiful is advantageous in this world. I've spoken about this in, I think, my previous video. For sure, there is massive privilege in being beautiful. You're more likely to attract a partner, especially if you're a woman dating a man. You're more likely to receive favourable treatment. And I definitely think it's easier to feel confident in yourself as an attractive individual, because you actually receive a lot of verbal praise. If you're cisgendered, white, able-bodied, in a conventionally attractive body with a conventionally attractive face, the world is generally kinder to you. So I want to make it really clear that in the Western world, Eurocentric features are considered beautiful. Blue eyes, a small nose, light skin, and this narrow-minded view of beauty that we've all kind of subconsciously adopted and kind of learned to put on a pedestal excludes features of Black, Latin, Indigenous and Arab individuals. Societal expectations for women and men, but definitely for women, because there's definitely more emphasis on women being beautiful and looking this certain way. They're very toxic, and they're ableist, and they're racist, and they're transphobic, and they're definitely something that we should question, that we should have a look at. Who do you find attractive and why? I think it's so important that we ponder that, and we ponder whether it's something we deeply believe in or something we've learned to believe in. Have you learned to find a certain type of person attractive? If you're deemed an unattractive woman in this world, you pay for it, that is for sure. However, the assumption that attractive women don't also face issues because of how they appear is naive. Whoever you are watching this video, please take everything I say with a pinch of salt, and know I'm coming from a place of trying to make us all understand each other a bit more and give another perspective on this topic of beauty. I'm not saying any of this to rub it in anyone's face or to make anyone feel embarrassed or ashamed or anything like that. I'm coming from such a place of love and wanting to empower women to come together and just understand each other more. So, if you're a beautiful woman, I know you might feel really defined by your outer layer. You might feel like people gravitate towards you because of how you look. And that's kind of how you make friends with people and how you get into relationships. You just kind of exist in this body with this face, and people come up to you and they want to be around you. Maybe not get to know you, but they want to see you and be around you, and they're attracted to you. The people around you might constantly want to talk about how you look and might constantly compliment you on how you look. And whilst this might sound really great, after a while, it can make you feel like you're completely misunderstood by everyone around you. If no one is acknowledging your inner self, your personality, if everyone's just constantly complimenting your outer layer, you can start to feel disconnected to everyone. And it's a very lonely place to be in. You might believe that it's within your best interest to come across as attractive, and that might mean that when you're hanging out with people in social situations that you pour all your energy into looking good, not expressing yourself. I get it. If people are constantly giving you that feedback of, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so attractive, oh, this person fancies you, oh, we should hang out, you're going to think, okay, this is how I feel loved, this is how I feel appreciated, this external validation feels good. But it's not fulfilling in the long term. It doesn't make you feel close to people. It doesn't make you feel like you're actually yourself with people and that people love the real you. And it's really hard to have strong self-esteem if people are never really recognizing the real you. And my question is, do you even know the real you if you put so much energy into how you look? Have you taken that time to self-explore, to understand what makes you shine, what makes you excited, what you love to pour your energy into? Maybe actually you could be an artist or you love acting, but you've not really given yourself the time to explore that. Maybe you actually are really intelligent and have a lot to say on politics. Maybe you could make cultural commentary videos, but you are not able to really lean into that because people are always telling you you're the beautiful one. And maybe you've kind of fallen into that beautiful box. It's very easy to stay there because people do want to hang out with you if you look attractive. It's very easy to get kind of comfortable in that and just kind of go with it because people do just come your way. But that doesn't mean you get to be yourself with those people. Just because you look beautiful doesn't mean that your relationships with other people are perfect and that people treat you well and that you feel valued in those relationships. It takes time and effort and being yourself authentically with people to forge a really valuable relationship where you will feel valued. Not only is it exhausting and draining, constantly focusing on your outer layer and on coming across as attractive, but it also makes you distance yourself from people. And it means that your personality kind of just doesn't really ever get to exist and be expressed. We kind of need to experiment and explore and be ourselves with people to learn more about ourselves. The more we can share with people, the more we kind of get to develop that really deep understanding of who we are. So it's really difficult to know who you are if you're constantly just focusing on being beautiful when you're interacting with people. You never really get to go, that conversation with that person left me feeling really good, and actually maybe I should talk about feminism more because it really interests me and I felt really close to that person off the back of that and really intelligent, and yeah, that's a bit of me and that's something I'm really proud of. You don't really get to have those moments when you're just trying to look good. For so long, I didn't really get to acknowledge who I really was. One, because I actually didn't really challenge myself to do that. Two, because as women, we're kind of encouraged to focus on looking beautiful. So we follow that path, especially if it's easier for us as white, able-bodied, conventionally attractive women. And three, because at school, I didn't really feel empowered to lean on my interests, to be critical of the society that I live in, to forge my own ideas, to be a leader. So I really did just think my best bet is to be attractive. I never really thought I could have my own YouTube channel, have my own business, live my life authentically and meet people that I actually really love and that I can talk about my ideas with. I didn't really think that that was a possibility for me. If you constantly need other people to say you look good, to feel good in yourself, you're in this really dangerous place where external validation means more than self-validation. That puts you at the mercy of other people's opinions. So my lovely, I really want to encourage you to do some self-exploration, to lean into the things that naturally make you dazzle, that you research on YouTube, that you Google, that you love watching videos about, that you love watching films about. What topics, what things, what activities do you just love? The things that naturally fascinate you, I believe, are your purpose. I managed to get out of that mentality of, I'm the attractive one, I need to come across as attractive the whole time, I need to focus on my appearance when I'm around people, I don't need to express myself, I don't even know who I am. I managed to shift from that to, this is me. I'm into feminism, I'm into psychology, I want to connect with people, I really value community, I am flawed, I can own that. I don't need to look beautiful all the time. I got to that place because I lent into my passions, and that was feminism. I started researching feminism. I started to really empower myself with knowledge and do education on my own terms, not in school where it felt very kind of humiliating and embarrassing and difficult, with teachers just picking on you and getting you to speak when you have nothing to say. I really found my voice through doing research into the things that I loved. And once I started to really value my opinion, I started to value myself, and then I started to value my time more. And then I could be more picky with my friends and the people I entertained, and quite quickly my life started to become so much more beautiful. My quality of life really improved off the back of just starting to research feminism and put more time into the things that tickled my mind. There is this kind of general consensus that beautiful people lack personality, that they're boring, that they're not intelligent maybe. And obviously there might be some kind of truth to this, because as a beautiful person in a world that's obsessed with beauty and that puts beautiful people on a pedestal, naturally people flock to you. So you don't really need to put that much effort in to have people around you. But if you want people who actually want to listen to you and value you around you, value you, your inner self, you do have to put that effort in. And I really don't believe beautiful people are inherently lacking personality. I think that, again, is just a consequence of not having to explore who you are, because people are already kind of interested in you. We might put off developing a sense of self and finding meaning and purpose in this life because we're kind of assigned this meaning already as the beautiful person. We're kind of put into that beautiful box. But you can take yourself out of that box. People will remind you that you're beautiful. They'll put you back into that box, trust me. But it doesn't mean you have to stay there. You can prove people wrong. If you're an attractive person, look out for people that instantly warm to you, that instantly want to be around you, that instantly want to be in a relationship with you. If they haven't asked you any questions, if they don't really know who you are and you don't really feel like you've given much away, but they're instantly wanting to be around you, that's kind of a sign that actually they're just more attracted to your appearance than your personality. And yes, someone might be attracted to your appearance and then learn to love who you are, but they need to be open to learn who you are and interested, and they need to ask you questions and have ears to listen. So make sure that you're entertaining people that actually want to get to know you and experience you, not just look at you and objectify you. I could meet up with my current friends looking however and have an amazing time with them. I'm not kind of expected or required to look a certain way in order for them to have a good time with me and value my company. But in the past, I certainly felt like the better I looked, the more valuable I was to the meetup. In the past, I had friends that didn't really want to get to know me, that didn't really look me in the eye and ask me how my week was going. They just enjoyed how I visually added to the group. I promise you, you are such a multifaceted, interesting human being, and you have so much to explore. There's so much that you did as a kid, I'm sure, that excited you. And I really encourage you to kind of go back to that kind of kid mentality where you were like, oh, I'll play with this. Oh, I'll read this book. It's really cool. Oh, I really like that person. Go back to that kind of intuitive, kid-like mentality where you just let yourself be drawn to things in such an authentic way. So I want you to think about an attractive person, someone you don't know, maybe a celebrity. You don't know anything about their personality. What characteristics do you kind of associate them with? Do you think that they're probably clever, thoughtful, empathetic? Or do you assume actually they're more kind of vain or spoiled or narcissistic? I think on a subconscious level, a lot of us do tend to assume that. And I'm going to admit, I used to watch this girl on TikTok. And when I initially found her, she's very conventionally attractive, and she started speaking about just kind of cultural and political commentary videos. I experienced shock when I first heard her speaking because I didn't expect her to have these opinions on the world because of how she looked. And it's crazy how quickly we can have that assumption. And it is because we've been socialized to associate beautiful people with being a bit empty-headed, with being stupid, with lacking depth. And it just shows the power of the media. It shows the power of films. My God, the amount of films that I've watched that have had the beautiful, pretty girl as the dumb girl, the girl that treats everyone horribly, and the woman that's living in a body that's not conventionally attractive, that wears glasses. She's the geek, she's the intelligent one, she's the one that's going to get that good job. I think it's so great to be just really open and aware of everything that you've consumed. I think it's really important that we're kind to ourselves and we don't shame and blame ourselves for associating maybe beauty with being vapid. I think it's really important that we recognise that our subconscious has just taken in all the information that's around us, and the world has got very narrow-minded views. The world, society, the media, male directors have a very narrow view of beauty, and they perpetuate that to large audiences, and it affects culture, it affects mentalities, and that really seeps into our everyday lives and our opinions of ourselves and other people. So please don't think that this is just something that you've decided to think and that everyone really truly believes in. I just think we've all kind of been conditioned, and we kind of are just walking around without really challenging ourselves. I think if people really think about things deeply, beauty doesn't really mean one specific thing. It can mean something different to different individuals. To me, a beautiful person is somebody who is kind. Not nice, not trying to be the nice person and people-pleasing. Kind. Authentically and genuinely willing to empower others. I think beautiful people are curious people, are people who are tender with animals and people's feelings and nature. That's what beauty means for me. What do you think it means for you on a really deep, meaningful level? If you're beautiful, you can't be insecure. This is a very dehumanizing notion because everybody experiences the fluctuations of emotions in life. Everyone gets the ups and downs. It's just reality for us as humans. We're going to experience those negative emotions. We're going to struggle. We're going to be sad. So telling somebody that they can't feel bad because they look great, oh, that's so damaging. None of us are perfect. Therefore, none of us feel perfect. And we should always assume that there is more story and background to someone before just projecting perfection onto them. I really believe that everyone should have space to articulate their struggles and their issues and their more painful feelings without being shamed or invalidated. I remember a long while ago I was opening up to an old friend about not feeling right with my partner, not feeling like he was particularly loyal. And I remember she very quickly shut me down and said, "Shut up. Everyone who meets you fancies you." And this made me instantly go back into myself and feel ashamed and icky and all these negative things. And all I was looking for was a friend to listen to me and hold tender space for me. But from her perspective, I was a pretty person who had silly worries. I mean, I wasn't in her head, but that very much came across. And now it's very easy to kind of recognize that this was just a reflection of how she was feeling, and it was more about her than it was about me. But man, I really needed someone to talk to then, and it was quite painful to basically be told that I shouldn't really have problems, that I shouldn't really speak up about that. Just because you're conventionally attractive does not mean that you're going to get a loyal partner, someone who respects you, someone who values you, someone who wants the best for you. It doesn't mean your life is going to be simple or easy or without struggle or without insecurity. But it's so easy, isn't it, to assume that with beauty comes simplicity, comes perfection, comes the dream life. I just want to encourage you to think for a moment of all the adverts that you've watched. They usually have beautiful, conventionally attractive people, and they're usually living their best life. Maybe it's for a face cream, the woman's putting it on smiling, and she's outside her beautiful big house and her family's in there all smiling, having dinner together. And we really get this depiction not only of beauty but of happiness. And it's very easy to link the two together. To be beautiful means to be happy. That's what adverts tell us, because that's the best way to sell a product. Good-looking individuals are the poster people for happiness. Patriarchal capitalism does try to sell beauty to us through saying that that's going to make us feel happy, and that it's going to make us get into a relationship and have the beautiful big house and the happily ever after. The media really does sell us this dream. And by doing that, it kind of makes us think that the answer to all our problems is in improving our appearance and becoming beautiful. When we become beautiful, then everything is perfect and fixed. So of course, we then have these projections, you can't be insecure, you're beautiful, your life must be perfect. Of course, we project that onto attractive people, because the adverts tell us to be beautiful is to be happy, is to have the perfect partner, it's to have the perfect life. No matter who you are, you can experience insecurities and feel low, and your feelings are valid when you are experiencing that, and you deserve someone to look you in the eye and hug you and be there for you when you're struggling. The kind of evil commentary that is out there loudly shaming women affects all of us. We all get cut by patriarchy. Obviously, there are women that experience more hardship, Black women, trans women, and it's really important that we recognise that. I really do believe as women we can come together from all our different perspectives and validate each other and listen to each other and learn from each other, and not point fingers and judge each other, but rather have empathy. I think it's really great that we live in a world with social media, because it means that we get to hear from more perspectives, people that are different from us. And I think it's just so important to keep an open mind and recognise that everyone has something, a story to tell, has something that they've gone through that's been painful, and we can learn from that and we can be tender. I just really want to encourage women to come together, because in this patriarchal world, we're actually told to judge each other and be competitive and jealous of one another. I want to encourage us to all come together and listen to everyone's perspectives. I'm not saying the perspective that I've put forward today is more important than other perspectives. If anything, I really don't. I think perspectives that are really important right now, that really need to be amplified, are the perspectives from Black women, trans women, disabled women. I have a program that I've designed specifically for women, to empower women. If you want more details on that, check out the description box, pop me an email and ask me some questions, and maybe we'll end up connecting and chatting over Zoom. Thank you so much for watching, my lovely. Please subscribe and hit the bell, and comment down below, because I love to hear your opinions.